Voice DeVoe. Hotel Trivago.
Everyone, hey, it's Legends Speed Force. Like what I did there with what XR3N would say. Well, that's in a parallel universe, but anyway. Now I'm going to be doing my ranking on all 5 Star Wars shows from worst to best. Now, this includes Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Resistance, along with Star Wars The Mandalorian and Star Wars The Bad Batch, which they're both going on right now. Bad Batch is only 1 season in, Mandalorian has 2. And this is going to be my ranking from worst to best. Coming in at last place, this should be no surprise to anyone, it's Star Wars Resistance. Now, when I did my ranking on all 3 of the Star Wars shows, that being Clone Wars, Mandalorian, and Rebels, back then, the reason why I deleted it was because the Bad Batch wasn't around at that time, and I had no idea this was canon. You probably don't really hear people talk about this very much, and there's a good reason for that. This was just very disappointing. The animation looks so weird comparing it to the other content we have. And the whole storyline of the First Order slowly building up right before The Force Awakens is good, but the execution, they drag it out so long. Not saying this is entirely bad, there are some good episodes here and there, but after this, I really lost interest in Star Wars and had trouble finishing it. So, it definitely deserves last place. Coming in at the top 4 is Star Wars The Bad Batch. Now, from here on up, these are all shows that go from decent to good, where Resistance is the only one that I find to be bad. Although, this was just as disappointing. It started off great at first, and I liked how it was setting up future storylines like Rebels, Jedi Fallen Order, The Mandalorian, etc. And I think this is the best idea on paper for what should happen after Revenge of the Sith and before A New Hope, with Order 66 and the consequences to it right after. And, of course, we all loved The Bad Batch from The Clone Wars Season 7. But that's kind of all I have to say. This isn't bad like Resistance, like I said, but it was mediocre for me so far. Still has potential to reach my expectations in Season 2 or any later seasons if they're interested in doing that, since the plot also drags out, and there was a lot of filler episodes, and I don't know, I just thought this could have been way better, but hopefully this will improve in later seasons, and once the Book of Boba Fett comes along with another season of this will probably be a lot higher on the list. Coming in at the top 3 is Star Wars Rebels. Now from here on up, these are all amazing shows, where the bottom 2 are ones that are mediocre at best for me. I find this to be one of the most criminally underrated Star Wars content ever, because it's personally one of my favorites. It was the first of the Disney canon that we got, although that's not why I love it. It's because I have nostalgia for Season 1 with the Inquisitors in it. Then Season 2, it's really when it got amazing with Darth Vader and stuff. And then Season 3 got really badass with Thrawn, a great character from Legends, and also Darth Maul, who is really badass in this. And then Season 4 with more Thrawn action, time travel, Palpatine, Mandalorians. Yes, it's that crazy, but it's so cool. And with all that lore giving, that's why this show needs to get way more attention. Or at least why, when I was watching this in my top 2, this was back when I was extremely hyped for Star Wars, coming off of The Rise of Skywalker, all the announcements for the High Republic coming, and me finding out about the expanded universe, etc. But I miss those days, although now, ever since the whole Gina Carano stuff happened, it's been feeling like an incomplete mess. And hopefully with the Book of Boba Fett, it can redeem that, in that I'll get my interest in Star Wars again and remember how awesome these top 3 shows are. But now, let's move on to the top 2 and explain why I like them better than Rebels. Coming in at the top 2 is Star Wars The Clone Wars. I mean, obviously it was going to be at the top 2, we can all agree on that. I mean, the show has changed a lot drastically throughout its runtime. Some seasons are better than others. It went from the war between the Republic and the Separatists to bounty hunter action to information about the Ones to the whole Night Sister stuff to making Darth Maul a badass more so than Rebels, and why he's one of my favorite characters of the entire franchise, or at least one of my favorite villains, but definitely most interesting characters. And that's also why I wish we got a sequel to Solo, but that's a different story for a different time. Although I think I explained that in a previous Star Wars video that I made. And then in Season 6, it really had a great way of Yoda dealing with visions while setting up the events of Revenge of the Sith. And then Season 7, it's really when it got cool with more Darth Maul action, badass Ahsoka moments, and Mandalorian stuff, the Bad Batch, all of it. Definitely one of the best seasons of TV ever, in my opinion. And it definitely had a great time with the show while I was watching it. And like I said with Rebels, I really miss those days. But there's only one show on this list that I like slightly more. Coming in at first place is Star Wars The Mandalorian. This is easily one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Not only is it the first live-action Star Wars show, but also, you know how when I was talking about Clone Wars and Rebels, I was saying that the Mandalorians are what make it good? Well, here they really escalate on that, and I really like how it moves away from Sith and focuses more on Mandalorian bounty hunters against the Empire. And especially in Season 2, anyone who's seen it knows how good it was, and obviously if you've seen my review for it, you'd also know how much I love it, from the Ahsoka episode, the finale, the Darksaber with Moff Gideon intensity, who is a lot like Thrawn, and Boba Fett action. do I even have to say anymore? And hopefully with Mandalorian Season 3 and Book of Boba Fett, it can definitely get my interest back. Although, I still need to finish up the Jedi Academy trilogy. I'm on Jedi Search. And then I gotta read the High Republic Light of the Jedi as well. And see if I can check out the New Jedi Order, Legacy of the Force, and Fate of the Jedi, but that's a different story for a different time. But either way, yep, that was my ranking on all 5 shows. Tell me yours in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to comment below any video ideas you got for me. And my next Star Wars video is probably going to be my last for a while. Infinite Empire voice, because, well, they are one of the big Star Wars villains next to the Sith, the Yuuzhan Vong, Abeloth, the Nihil, the Drengir, and the Mandalorians. If there's more, please tell me. But I don't know what else to do with Star Wars videos, so definitely comment below anything you got for me, if that's the case. So, that's all I have to say. Go away now.